Hello guys, welcome to another trade recap. Today we got actually two trades. One is a short and one is a long. And with the second one, pretty much it was like a quote unquote like a break-even trade. I needed to run, so I pretty much caught the trade on a small pop once I took the longs on the as you can see over here. But let's just go ahead and explain this trade over here. I did not took this trade by the way. This was the trade that I wanted to take, but TradeRecap was down. So yeah, that shit happened. But let me just go ahead and explain why over here in the higher time frame. So I was pretty much when I got into the desk, I saw this shit. Like this has sell off over here, and I was like, bro, like I wanna look for the longs. I wanna see if we can find a play to trade back to overnight. Specifically, I'm not looking to pretty much like reverse this shit up. Pretty much because I mean we already broke of this range, so I'm expecting price might go lower kind of once we get this pullback. But I was initially looking for this setup to the overnight. The thing is that since Tradovate was down, I was not able to actually trade in. And well, kind of. So when I got into the desk, I was already logged in into my Tradovate account. And then I saw that it was down. And my dumbass was okay, let me just see if I can just log out and log in again. And I was not able to log in again. And I think even though I had like logged in into TradeObit on TradingView over here, I think my order would have been rejected if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's one thing. Then I pretty much sit out of this trade, and it was kind of like my fucked up because I was like so focused on trading this on over here on my on my Ignite and the challenge account that I forgot I have my top step too. So top secret had been an option here. I just pretty much like blanked out. It was just my fault. So but yeah, this was a trade that I was looking for. Initially I was almost induced into longs over here on NQ when I saw this small push higher. But based on my the strategy for this type of moves that I have back tested before and what I have been seeing that it works for me is that usually I look for price to pretty much get into a level and a specific level and then reject from that, or pretty much a level for me is going to be a fair value gap if we have a sweep, or it also can be out of thin air. Sounds like dumb, but it just I have seen this before a lot. So pretty much we can let's say in this case you were looking for longs. In this case price can be at open pretty much just dropping. Let's say there's no sweep, there's no fair value gap, there's nothing. Let's see if price, let me just give me a brush, if price is just pushing lower pre-market, let's say at 728, 729, and exactly at 730 it will push down and then push higher after that, and it's gonna form it's gonna form a order block like this. So it's pretty much we're gonna have like this type of structure, something like this. Now obviously out open is gonna be so much more aggressive, and that's when I usually go long. Or my favorite setup, I guess, setup or type of entry is the one that we had today, which pretty much is that NQ push lower, took the London low, took another higher time frame swing low over here. It's kind of far. I think I can just show you guys over here. Yeah, so we took this swing low over here too. Then also we also reached into a gap fill. That was on the daily time frame, if I'm not mistaken. Something was like a long time ago. Daily, wasn't a daily? I don't remember, bro. Huh. I don't actually. Oh, it was on yes. I think it was on yes. If I'm not mistaken, something like that. But we went into a. I think it was. Huh. Actually, I don't remember because I had it on blue. That's the fill, the area of the fill. Huh. That's. I think it was this. Oh yeah. Oh no, it was not that one. Oh, I remember. But it was something on the. Actually, I can just see here. But I'm just a dumbass. Hold on. What's this blue? Oh yeah, this gap fill over here in the 4 hour. So we actually never filled this. So I just marked it out also as a confluence over here on NQ. This is NQ by the way. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I think lungs might come into fruition. The thing is that ES actually formed the order block first, so that's why the entry is on the breakout of the opening range, and we're just targeting overnight. And that was the trade, my ideal trade for today. to be honest. This was a trade, but I was not able to be in it. And also I forgot I had my top step, so I kind of like fucked up on that. But it is what it is. We missed that. Then I was kind of like looking for a trade, but at the same time I was not looking for a trade because it was Friday and I was just being like I wanted to be like a chill Friday, you know. So I mean, also because I had already like lost this main step that I wanted to take, so I was just like kind of like not fully interested in another trade. Um, so I was able to catch this trade over here on NQ, and this is a different type of trade that I usually take, which is good for me because this is just a trade that it's out of my comfort zone. I know because I usually don't trade these reversals in a sense. I used to, and I got burned a lot of times because I stopped trading these type of reversals. But just in my head, it made sense. You know, like we have the BWAP over here as main support. We're failing to close over here, then we failed to close again over here. Now we're closing here, push higher. Now we're closing again. Well, I mean, in my head, the next target, if we're gonna disrespect overnight like this, and we're not gonna bounce from it apparently anymore, it's gonna be BWAP. So I took the short on the commons because I don't want to get like fucked up a little bit on the fundeds. That's why I took the trade on the combine that I had left. I know I mentioned I did not want to trade the combines, but I don't want to get fucked up on the Lucid fund is because that's I have all my accounts pretty much on Tradovate right now. So except for the one on Top Step, but I don't want to risk it and just go in a Lucid funded on this type of condition where the platform was down like for what like 12 hours. So I just prefer to play it safe on a Friday and just like have no regrets of actually pushing on conditions like this with the broker. So pretty much took a short over here, and I took a quit scalp to BWAP over here. It wasn't that big. I think it was just like one micro. It was $100, and then price came lower over here, and that's where I got debate. I was debating myself over here if I wanted to take a short follow in the overall trend or not. Because I think we ended up. Oh, that divergence over here is crazy. Okay, I did not saw that. So I was thinking, okay, we might. I don't want to say I want to merit the double break today, just because we already like pushed past the opening range high on ES, and Q also already pushed past the opening range high on the BWAP aspect. So I'm not sure we're gonna go back, all the way over here. And it was tricky, bro, because I wanted to short, but at the same time, it's just like a tricky area, bro. Like, look at all these buyers, bro. There was no sellers, bro. Like, like at all. Like we just V-shaped recovered this bitch, on both, and now we're just sitting in the middle, pretty much. So I was like 50-50, and then the thing that got me to longs was pretty much the orders on bookmap. So I was watching bookmap the live stream on YouTube because I cut out my bookmap subscription, and it was kind of dumb because now that I don't have my bookmap subscription because I wanted to try TradeZilla and just like diverge in the budget, you know what I mean? Um, now that I like cancel my subscription on Bookmap. I'm actually looking more at Bookmap and like this type of scenarios. But it's just funny because before I was not actually looking at Bookmap that much, but now surprisingly, like this week, I was looking at a lot of Bookmap stuff on the other screen that I have over here. So just funny. But I was watching on the live stream on DS a lot of orders being placed above, and also there was nothing, bro, below. It was just pretty much like black. There was no orders below. So I was like, oh, okay. So in the middle of the range, we're pretty much buyers all morning, and now we're gonna like just turn lower. I don't think so, bro. So I did wait a little bit and took the longs. Oh no, hold on. Where I took the longs though? I don't remember. I think I took the longs in here on this close. Yeah, on the retest. Yeah. So I did wait a little bit longer to see more structure because I was okay. I think I like more the short, the longs because of the bookmap orders above. So I was like, well, let me just wait a little bit and see if I can get more structure to play with. And we can see that pretty much we kind of like holding, we're kind of slowing down, finding like a base around BWAP, so that's good for longs. And then Q also was pretty much unable to even get back into the range, so that's also good for longs. And I waited for the break, pull back, and then I got into the retest over here, longs, and I pretty much cut the trade over here. I cut the trade over here before the run, sadly, but I needed to leave. Um, and I was like, bro, I'm not gonna like mismanage the trade. I just gonna like cut it and whatever, and just it is what it is. I would just come back and later and see because I cut the trade and I just left the desk, and then after the fact, yeah, TP pretty much was hit. I was just targeting this highs over here. I was not trying to make a new high, specifically on a Friday, bro. So I'm not like pushing it too far, but we can see the or exit over here. It was pretty much the when NQ took this high. So I think it's a really good exit, just 10 points. So I think it was a good trade, a good idea, but I just got out of here and this little pop because I needed to run. So it is what it is. But yeah, like this trade over here was more, yeah, I mean I had my analysis from BWAPs and everything, but I think the cherry that actually the cherry on top that helped me decide the longs was the bookmap orders because I was seeing bookmap and it was just pretty much orders coming above, new orders coming above, heavy, heavy, and underneath it was just pretty much like nothing, bro. It was just blank. And also, I was watching the bookmark really closely because I didn't want to get like spoofed. Like we had like a big block of orders, and actually, Austin, I think I already mentioned this thing 2 times already on the live streams. It was that we have like a big block of orders, and the price will try to drive to those block of orders, and it would just like disappear, spoofing us, and then it would just kind of dump in this case, right? Um. So yeah, I was watching bookmap this week, and I was able to see that live when I was watching the bookmark strip on the other screen. So I was able to watch that live. So it's pretty interesting. Like if you guys actually put like, I don't want to say the time, but like just like take the time to see and like try to correlate what you guys are seeing on the charts and on bookmap, and it's actually really interesting. I don't really look at delta and all those stuff in volume. um Sometimes I will just look at the CVD or the delta. Sometimes just I just want to see if it's rising or stalling or what is actually happening. But that's pretty much it. I was pretty much just looking at the bookmap orders. But yeah, guys, those are the two trades that I took today. Sadly, Tradovate was down. And I was watching Twitter, bro. People got like furious, bro. They were just like trash talking Tradovate, bro. I was like, bro, like shut the fuck down, bro. It's not like a big deal, bro. Like it doesn't really. I mean, it's a big deal in a sense because they're like losing money because of commissions. I think probably for the live accounts. I don't know how um the contract with the prop firms are, but I have traded live funding on with them, and I know you have like commissions for your trades. So I mean, they lost a lot of commissions, that's for sure. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like everything is just gonna break. Nothing is forever, but you're gonna fix stuff, and that's what actually happened, I think. But yeah, um, that's pretty much it for me today, guys. I will just upload this right now on Saturday, and I hope you guys made money on this day, or learn even something from my markups and my explanation, or even if you learn something from your own trading this day. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Enjoy your weekend and take a rest from the charts. Just do a small review on Sunday, and we go back again tomorrow on Monday. All right, guys. Thank you. Take care.